Good afternoon, my dear students from Ishtar Private Secondary School for Girls, 5th grade. This is your English teacher, Rima Ta'i. Unit 1, Lesson 2, Ramadan in Iraq. Read Samira's email and match the missing phrases to the spaces 1 to 6. A. All through the day خلال كل اليوم. B. But that's another story. ولكن تلك قصة أخرى. C. We have an evening meal. نتناول وجبة مسائية. D. Spend a lot more time with each other. نقضي وقتا أكثر مع بعضنا الآخر. E. Traditions in my country. التقاليد في بلدي. F. To offer visitors in the evening. لنقدمه للزائرين مساء. This email is from Samira to Claire. Hi Claire, thanks for your email. You asked me about? Well, at the moment, it's Ramadan. So I'll tell you about that. It's a 30-day religious fast. إنه صيام مقدس لمدة 30 يوما from dawn to sunset من الفجر إلى غروب الشمس. So there is no eating, drinking, or smoking. It's a time when we try to pray more. إنه الوقت الذي نحاول أن نصلي أكثر. Be more patient. نكون صبورين أكثر with each other مع بعضنا الآخر and be kind and generous كرماء to people who are less fortunate than us. للناس الذين هم أقل حظا منا. At sunset we stop fasting. عند غروب الشمس نتوقف عن الصيام. And after prayers بعد الصلاة, it's called iftar. My mother is a very traditional person. أمي شخص تقليدي جدا. She is also a little bit bossy. وإنها متسلطة قليلا. Anyway, على أي حال, she makes sure that iftar in our home is a very traditional meal. طبق أو وجبة تقليدية. We always start with a glass of yogurt. نبدأ بقدح من اللبن and dates والتمر وفروت جوز and lentil soup وحساء العدس. The main course الطبق الرئيسي is usually a stew. يكون طبقا من الستيو with meat or chicken. فيه اللحم أو الدجاج and vegetables والخضروات served with rice ويقدم مع الرز. Then we have tea and cakes. During Ramadan we always have lots of pastries in the house. خلال شهر رمضان يكون لدينا دائما الكثير من المعجنات في البيت. One thing I really like about Ramadan here in Basra is that people are more sociable. الناس هنا في البصرة أكثر يكونون اجتماعيين. Families and friends in the evenings. Towards the end of the month قرابة نهاية هذا الشهر some people get a bit bad-tempered. يكون مزاج الناس حاد أو سيء قليلا because they are thirsty بسبب العطش أو شعورهم بالعطش tired and hungry وشعورهم بالتعب والجوع. I took a taxi yesterday and the driver was very bad-tempered. كان السائق عصبي المزاج أو سيء المزاج. I think he wanted a cigarette. He drove really badly. كان يسوق بشكل سيء. But you know me. I'm very easygoing. هادئ. أنا هادئة كما تعرفيني. So I smiled and stayed calm. لذلك ابتسمت وبقيت هادئة. Right back soon, Samira. Here is a photo of you and me in Liverpool last year. Now, after matching between the missing phrases and the spaces, the answers are number 1, with E, traditions in my country. Number 2, with A, all through the day. 3, with C, we have an evening meal. 4, with B, but that's another story. 5. With F, to offer visitors in the evening. 6. With D, spend a lot more time with each other. Now, let me explain for you the present continuous, المضارع المستمر. We can use some time adverbials with this tense like نستطيع استخدام بعض الظروف الزمنية مع هذا الزمن مثل now الآن, right now, at the moment في هذه اللحظة, at present في الوقت الحاضر, today اليوم. As you know, my students, there are 3 types of sentences. The first one, we call it the affirmative. That should begin with the subject first, followed by am, is, or are, then the verb, adding to it ing, and then the complement. يجب جملتنا المثبتة أن تبدأ بفاعل بعدها am أو is أو are أفعال الكينونة depending of course on the subject اعتمادنا على الفاعل يليه the verb and the ing and the complement. Use the present continuous to talk about actions that are happening at the moment of speaking. نستخدم المضارع المستمر للتحدث حول أحداث تحدث في لحظة الكلام. Just like the first sentence, look, it is raining now. This is happening at the moment of speaking. انظري. إنها تمطر الآن. Number 2. Shh. Your little brother is sleeping. أخوك الصغير ينام. 3. What are you writing? This is a question. ماذا تكتبين؟ هذه الأحداث كلها تحدث في لحظة الكلام. You can also use the present continuous to talk about things that are happening in the current period of time. نحن نستطيع استعمال المضارع المستمر للتحدث حول أشياء تحدث في الفترة الزمنية الحالية. Just like, we are studying present continuous this term. نحن ندرس المضارع المستمر في هذا الفصل. Number 2. Why are you driving too fast today? لماذا تقود السيارة بسرعة شديدة اليوم؟ Some verbs are not usually used in the present continuous. بعض الأفعال لا تستخدم مع المضارع المستمر. يجب حفظها. The first verb is know, like, love, need, want, mean, come from, etc. These verbs, we can't use them with the present continuous. Use the present simple instead. نستخدم المضارع البسيط بدلاً عن المضارع المستمر عند استعمالنا لواحدة من هذه الأفعال. The second type of the present continuous is the negative sentences. Our negative sentences should begin by putting the subject first, followed by am, is, or are, then not, am not, isn't or is not, aren't or are not, plus verb, adding to it ing, and the complement. Just like number 1, my sister aren't sleeping at the moment. Number 2, she isn't doing her homework right now. Look at this chart. Present continuous negative. Subject, followed by verb to be, then not, the verb plus ing. The subjects are you, he, she, it, we, you, they. I take, am not, you are not, he is not, she is not, it is not, we are not, you are not, and they are not. Then followed by the verb adding to it ing. The short form not, you are not, or you aren't. He is not, or he isn't. She is not, or she isn't. It's not, or it isn't. We are not, or we aren't. You are not, you aren't. They are not, they aren't. The third type, we call it the questions. The questions are divided into two types: A. Yes, no questions. الأسئلة التي أجوبتها تبدأ بنعم أو لا. These questions should begin by putting verb to be am, is, or are depending on the subject. يجب أن تبدأ بأفعال الكينونة am أو is أو are باعتمادنا على الفاعل. Then followed by the verb, the ing, the complement of the question, and the question mark. Examples: Is Huda learning Japanese? Is followed by subject Huda. Learn the verb, adding to it ing, Japanese the complement of the question. The answer: yes, she is. Number 2. Are the students wearing their uniforms? No, they aren't. Are followed by the subject, the students, which is a plural, جمع, where the verb adding to it ing, the complement of the question, and the question mark. No, they aren't. The second type of questions is the WH questions. WH questions should begin by putting one of the question words يبدأ بواحدة من كلمات السؤال, followed by verb to be am, is, or are, then the subject, the verb, adding to it ing, and the complement of the question and the question mark. Example: What is he studying at the moment? What is the question word, followed by is. He is the subject, لأن هي عندنا الفاعل مفرد فاستخدمنا الفعل المساعد أو فعل الكينونة is, followed by study, the verb adding to it ing, and the time adverbial at the moment. Where are they going? Where is the question word, followed by verb to be are, and then the subject they, which is a plural, the verb go, adding to it ing, and the question mark. More examples about the WH questions. What is she doing? She is studying geography. What are they doing? They are playing soccer. What are you doing? I'm cooking a recipe. My students, I hope that you have understood my lecture. This is the end of our lesson today. Thank you very much for your attention.